Constitutional definitions went from this, the Lion and the Unicorn, Act's interpretation. Number 2 of 1901, an Act for the interpretation of Acts of Parliament and for shortening their language, assented to 12th of July 1901. Be it enacted by the King's Most Excellent Majesty, the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Australia as follows. Short title and application. 1. This Act may be cited as the Acts Interpretation Act 1901. 17. Constitutional and official definitions. The Commonwealth. A. The Commonwealth shall mean the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australia includes the whole of the Commonwealth. The Constitution. The Constitution shall mean the Constitution of the Commonwealth. The Constitution Act. The Constitution Act shall mean the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act. The Parliament. The Parliament shall mean the Parliament of the Commonwealth. Our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act is a common law of England contract and holds all rights known to man. To this treason. This Act was done while sitting within the walls of our Parliament. Acts Interpretation Act 1973, number 79 of 1973. An Act to amend the Acts Interpretation Act 1901 to 1966. Assented to 19th of June 1973. Be it enacted by the Queen, the Senate and the House of Representatives of Australia as follows.
That be it enacted by the Queen, the Senate and the House of Representatives of Australia as follows. That Queen is the Queen of Australia. That enacting manner and form has got no crown or constitutional authority. It is just a con job. It is actually a private system and purporting to be our government, or our Parliament I should say, but it is not our Parliament. They're outside our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted.
Constitutional and official definitions. 4. 1. Section 17 of the Principal Act is amended. A. By admitting paragraphs A and B and substituting the following paragraph. A. Australia or the Commonwealth means the Commonwealth of Australia, and when used in a geographical sense does not include an external territory. And Acts Interpretation Act 1973 number 79 changed the constitutional and official definitions, creating their own abstract. Australia or Commonwealth means the Commonwealth of Australia in a geographical sense outside our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act. The contrary intention has never appeared to this day.
The contrary intention means they've never changed it back to what it is. It was treason to change it without a referendum, so therefore the contrary intention they can't do because they're admitting to treason the moment they do.
The Evidence Act 1973, number 80 of 1973, being enacted by the Queen, the Senate and the House of Representatives of Australia as follows. Short title and citation. 1. This Act may be cited as the Evidence Act 1973. 2. The Evidence Act 1905 to 1964, as amended by this Act, may be cited as the Evidence Act 1905 to 1973.
What you need to remember in all this system now, they are under their Commonwealth of Australia in a geographical sense. They have changed their definition. So all acts from now on are under their system of definitions.
Commencement. This Act shall come into operation on a date to be fixed by proclamation. 3. Section 8 of the Evidence Act 1905 to 1964 is repealed and the following section substituted. Proof of Gazette. Number 8. 1. The mere production of a paper purporting to be the Commonwealth of Australia Gazette shall in all courts be evidence that the paper is the Commonwealth of Australia Gazette and was published on the day on which it bears date. 2. The mere production of a paper purporting to be the Australian Government Gazette shall in all courts be evidence that the paper is the Australian Government Gazette and was published on the day on which it bears date. Oxford Dictionary. Purport, verb, appear to be or do, especially falsely.
They're using the Commonwealth of Australia Gazette. It is their Commonwealth of Australia. It's exactly like they say. It is a mere production of paper purporting, and the word purporting appear to be or do, especially falsely.
Treasonous political parties, Australia. Australian Electoral Office Act 1973, number 87 of 1973. An act relating to the administration of electoral laws, assented to 19th of June 1973, being enacted by the Queen, the Senate and the House of Representatives of Australia as follows. 1. This Act, short title. 1. This Act may be cited as the Australian Electoral Office Act 1973. Commencement. 2. This Act shall come into operation on a date to be fixed by proclamation. Definition. 3. In this Act, officer means an officer referred to in Section 4. Establishment of the office and officers. 4.1. There is hereby established an office to be known as the Australian Electoral Office, which shall consist of the officers referred to in this section and the staff referred to in Section 15. 2. There shall be A Chief Australian Electoral Officer, B. A Deputy Chief Australian Electoral Officer, and C. An Australian Electoral Officer for each state. 3. The Chief Australian Electoral Officer shall, under the Minister, control the Australian Electoral Office.
Can we just go back there a bit? Now, just remember, this Act shall come into operation on a date to be fixed by proclamation. None of these acts have royal assent, so they're not worth the paper they're written on. This is a private system purporting to be a parallel system to ours.
Every time you vote to stay as a slave to the treasonous political party that doesn't represent you. Wake up, people. All under the treasonous political party's changed constitutional definitions equals treason.
Under this system, political parties now create their own private constitutions, sit under their own private constitutions, represent only the people within their political parties. They do not represent the majority of people that in this country as established under the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted. This is total treason.
Australian Citizenship Act 1973, and this is their seal. They created this, which is trademarked over in the United States, Washington, and it has the royal, the Roman wreath underneath it.
Definition of Australia.
The definition of Australia is theirs in a geographical sense. What do we got? Number 99 of 1973, an act to amend the Citizenship Act 1948 to 1969, being enacted by the Queen, the Senate and the House of Representatives of Australia as follows. Section 15. Schedule 2, Oath of Allegiance. I, A.B., renouncing all other allegiance, swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Elizabeth II, Queen of Australia, her heirs and successors according to law, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Australia and fulfil my duties as an Australian citizen. Affirmation of Allegiance. I, A.B., renouncing all other allegiance, solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Elizabeth II, Queen of Australia, her heirs and successors according to law, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Australia and fulfil my duties as an Australian citizen. Section 26A, Schedule 3, Oath of Allegiance. I, A.B., renouncing all other allegiance, swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Elizabeth II, Queen of Australia, her heirs and successors according to law. Affirmation of Allegiance. I, A.B., renouncing all other allegiance, solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Elizabeth II, Queen of Australia, her heirs and successors according to law. This treasonous political party, Abstract Queen of Australia, does not hold the title Defender of the Faith, Common Law of England, King James Bible, Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, Habeas Corpus, etc. Under this treason, we the people, as established under our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, have no rights.
On this oath also you swear by Almighty God. That is not, remember they removed humbly relying on the blessings of Almighty God out of our preamble, so this God is satanic.